You ever wonder if a simple childhood hobby could, actually change the world? Well, that's pretty much the incredible story of David Attenborough. His fascination with bugs and fossils grew into this powerful, global voice for our planet. Today, we're going to dive into his journey using this really amazing book from the Little People, Big Dreams series as our guide. And this quote, it's really the heart and soul of the whole book series, and it perfectly captures David Attenborough's life. It's just a great reminder that you don't need some huge master plan to make a difference. Sometimes the biggest things, they start with just a small, stubborn dream. All right, so to really get who David Attenborough is, we've got to go way back. I'm talking all the way to the beginning when he was just a kid with a curiosity that, well, would eventually captivate the entire world. Okay, get this. Little David didn't just grow up near a university. He grew up on the campus itself. His dad was a professor. Can you imagine? I mean, your whole childhood is just surrounded by learning and discovery. It was basically the perfect breeding ground for a super curious mind to just bloom. So with the campus as his backyard, the science library, that was his personal treasure chest. And we're not just talking about skimming books. This was a full-on deep dive, He was just soaking up everything he could about the natural world, feeding this incredible hunger for knowledge that would honestly last his entire life. And here's the cool part. He wasn't just sitting back and reading. No way. He was out there getting his hands dirty. He collected stuff. He organized it. He literally created his own mini animal museum. And that little project, that was the very first hint of the amazing naturalist and storyteller he was going to become. So you might think a childhood hobby like that just kind of fades away, right? Not this one. It grew, it got deeper, and it ended up shaping his entire future. So the big question is, how did he go from a kid with a box of fossils to a global icon? Well, it all unfolded in these really logical steps. It started with that raw passion he had as a kid, right? Then he backed it up with some serious knowledge, studying science and zoology at university. But the real game changer? Television. This was a brand new thing back then, and it gave him a way to not just learn about nature, but to show it to everyone. And that became his mission, bringing these incredible untold stories of the animal world right into people's homes. And, sharing all those stories, it did something bigger than just make good TV. It turned him from just a guy on the screen into a powerful voice for the entire planet. So when we say conservationist, what does that actually mean? It's more than just liking animals and trees. It's about being their advocate, their defender, their champion. It's about speaking up for the parts of our world that can't speak for themselves. And that's exactly the role David Attenborough stepped into, and man, did he inspire millions. And that, right there, is the core of his legacy. It's not like he just taught one group of people. Nope. He has been a guide for generations, plural. For decades, he's been this steady, trusted voice reminding all of us that we're connected to this planet and that we've got a job to do to protect it. Okay, so we've followed his incredible life, but let's zoom out for a second. Let's talk about the book itself. Who is the person behind this idea of telling his story to a whole new generation of kids? The story behind Little People, Big Dreams is actually super sweet. It didn't start in some big corporate boardroom. It started back in 2014 as a gift. The author, Maria Isabel Sanchez Vegara, just wanted to make something special for her nieces. And from that one simple, heartfelt gift, well, it just exploded into this massive global series that sold millions of copies. And in this series, Attenborough is in some pretty amazing company. He's featured alongside other Earth heroes like the incredible Jane Goodall, the primatologist, and the powerhouse climate activist Greta Thunberg. They're all from different backgrounds, different generations, but they share this one powerful thing, a fierce dedication to protecting our planet. All right, so we've looked at his life, we've looked at the book. What's the big takeaway here? What are the key ideas we should really hold on to from the story of the boy with the mini museum? It really all boils down to this. You start with a love for nature, right? That love makes you want to learn more. And learning more makes you want to go out and explore. And once you've explored, you realize, wow, we've got to protect this. But the real magic, the thing that ties it all together, is that idea we started with, that a tiny dream, if you really care for it, can grow into something absolutely incredible. Think about it. David Attenborough's entire world-changing journey started with him just being curious about the bugs and fossils in his backyard. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What's that little spark of curiosity in your life? What's the thing that could grow into your big dream?